How do I connect related ideas in my writing and make my essay flow together? In this lesson, you will learn how to connect related ideas by using transition words. Let's review. We're responding to a writing prompt. We've identified the question and type of writing, which is a persuasive letter. We've planned our response, and we just finished writing our response. Right now, we're at the very last stage, which is revising our response. This is what we've written. Here's the opening paragraph, and here's one body paragraph. Here's two body paragraphs, and here's three body paragraphs, one for each of the three reasons. And finally, my concluding paragraph. So now I'm going to go back and revise my work. A common mistake is sometimes writing a paragraph where one idea jumps to the next. In one sentence, the subject could be the zoo. And the next, it could be about a movie about lions, like Madagascar or something. But how do these ideas connect with each other? Ideas need to be connected so that sentences can flow from one to the next. If they're not connected, it won't sound right, and it'll make for a worse response. To connect ideas in a paragraph, first reread your supporting details. Then, look for places when you jump from one detail to the next. Finally, use transition words to connect ideas. So first, we'll reread our supporting details. Here's one of our body paragraphs. A pet is a good idea because it can teach us about responsibility. Pets need to be fed and watered on a regular basis. They need regular visits to the veterinarian to make sure they are healthy. Most pets cannot take care of themselves. They need people to help them. By taking care of a pet, we are learning how to be responsible. Now, as I'm reading, I'm looking at places where ideas may jump from one to the next. So that'll lead us to our next step. Let's find those places where ideas jump to from one to the next. As I'm reading, I'm noticing that between the second and third sentence, that seems to not flow very well. So I think that's going to need a transition word there. Also, between healthy and most pets, I think it needs a connecting or transition word there as well. And that last sentence, it needs to connect to the paragraph somehow. So I've identified my three places where ideas jump. Now I'm going to find the right transition words. To find the right transition words, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to add on a detail or add on information, you use words like in addition, also, and besides. If you want to end a thought or conclude a paragraph, use words like therefore, in conclusion, and finally. These aren't all the words you need to use. These are simply examples. In this paragraph, I decided to use also between the second and third sentence. I wanted to add another idea, so I also put furthermore between healthy and most pets. And the last sentence, I added therefore. That way it connects to the rest of the paragraph. Let's read it again. A pet is a good idea because it can teach us about responsibility. Pets need to be fed and watered on a regular basis. Also, they need regular visits to the veterinarian to make sure they are healthy. Furthermore, most pets cannot take care of themselves. They need people to help them. Therefore, by taking care of a pet, we are learning how to be responsible. That's a much better paragraph. It flows really nicely, and you see how the ideas connect with each other. So remember, to connect your ideas in a paragraph, reread your supporting details. Look for places where you jump from one detail to the next. Finally, use transition words to connect ideas. In this lesson, you have learned how to connect related ideas by using transition words.